Hey guys, in this lab we learned all about tile sets. I love this tool. I feel like this is where the fun in game development really begins, because with tile sets you're able to make cool levels, you're able to see your worlds really come to life. In this video I'm introducing Unity's 2D tech demos. I like to think of this tool as your personal playground. It's basically a bunch of tile set examples that Unity put together for you to play around with, and there's so many things you can do with it. So I'll demonstrate some uses. But first I'm going to show you guys how to install 2D Tech demos. Okay, so I've made a brand new project here. This is a 2D Tech demos guide, but because this is a new project, I will need to first download 2D extras. The reason why 2D extras is not implemented already as part of the Unity engine itself, they want to keep the editor simple. FPS games, for example, will not be using tile maps. So what you have to do is go to Package Manager, and right here, 2D Tile Map Extras, click Install. And now 2D Tile Map Extras is installed. We need to go to Unity's GitHub to find 2D Tech demos. They give you instructions here on how to install it. I'll demonstrate that real quick for you guys. So we have 2D Tech demos now. The rest of this video is honestly pretty self-explanatory. I'm just going to be showing you guys some of the stuff that you can do with 2D Tech demos, but I really encourage you to go in and explore for yourself. So the first thing is you can go to Tile Palette and click on Rule Tiles, and we have these 8 different rule tiles that Unity has prepared for us to use. So if we create an empty tile map here, let's see what this one does. Oh, it's pipes. If we were to click on the tile, we can see exactly how Unity made this. These are the 5 rules they used, and you can see how this could come in handy. I want to emphasize what I said earlier about how 2D extras is like a playground. This game here, 2D isometric, is pretty much finished in terms of physics and player movement. If you guys are making 2.5D games, this is a great spot to put in your assets or test out some different level ideas. Let's go over a few more things we can do. First, rule override tiles. We use these in place of rule tiles when we have 2 sets of sprites that use the same logic. So for example, here we see empty clotheslines decorations and clotheslines with the garments on them. The rules remain the same, so we only really have to make a single rule tile and then a rule over tile that replaces empty lines with clothed lines. And the same goes for diagonal ground tiles. This one's actually really applicable for platformers with diagonal boxes. I would recommend checking this one out if you need some guidance coming up with rules for platforming levels. Alright, now we have palette swapping. Imagine you want to make a game with, say, day or night cycles, or one with 4 seasons, where you have to change the floors, but you want to keep the overall layout of the map the same. So normally we would have to redraw the tile map completely for each iteration, but here with just a bit of code, you can program a change in tile palettes. This demo says that whenever you press A or D, it'll swap between 2 different palettes. And then, so I just drew a flat block of red and it switches between different colors. Here in this destructible game demo, we have prefab tiles. So far in our lab, we've only really made tiles in either the ground layer, which has a collider, or the background layer, which has no collider. So for our lab, the waterfall was in the background layer and you couldn't run into it. But now we have prefab tiles. And these come in handy when we want to pack in a lot more information than just colliders. So let's think about the Goombas in Super Mario. On the top of my head, they damage Mario if he runs into them sideways. But the Goombas die if Mario jumps on them. So in Unity, you would have to make a Goomba prefab tile, but now you can paint a bunch of Goombas on your map without having to add all those programmer attributes for each one. And this demo in this destructible game just gives you a few tiles to pick from. Each one has different functionality when you play the game. Sometimes they blow up, sometimes they don't. Let's touch on lighting. This one's super fun. You can play around with it a lot. As the name implies, it just illuminates everything around it. So think torches in Minecraft or a laser light that you have to avoid in a spy game. Let's get into scriptable tiles. So rule tiles already make things a lot easier to draw compared to placing every single tile one by one. But at an industry level, rule tiles can still be pretty slow when it comes to making more expansive maps. So scriptable tiles allow you to code scripts that even further quicken the tiling process. This demo rule tile, you just click once and it will automatically follow your cursor in a straight line until you click again. So you can make a star here with only 5 button presses. And one more resource that you're probably already familiar with, the Unity Asset Store. It has so much stuff for you, top free assets. Instead of tile map specific things, there's finished games, there's particles. So once you find the asset you like, just click Add to My Assets, accept the terms and agreements, and now open in Unity. Alright, and right here in Package Manager, Assets, My Assets, we have the village props. And look at that, everything's here for us. For example, this is the fire. Today's video was a little bit shorter. Again, the main emphasis is 2D tech demos, the Unity Asset Store. As an artist myself, I found myself making the mistake of sometimes just creating assets and not exploring how they would actually look in game, or I would wait for my programmer teammates to put them in for me, but take advantage of these free resources. Thank you.